Hello, welcome to my multiple sclerosis disease project slides. Multiple sclerosis is an autoimmune disorder of the central nervous system. It's a demyelinating disease. The multiple sclerosis typically affects people between the ages of 20 to 50 years old. MS is twice as more likely to occur in females than men. It is also said that MS is more prevalent in populations that live further away from the equator. This is a visual on how the myelin sheaths of the neurons are damaged. As you can see on the left, there is a healthy neuron. And on the right, there is a nerve that has been affected by MS. And that is what happens when you have MS. There are a lot of symptoms that go along with MS, since it is a disorder of the central nervous system. Here is some of them, but there's a lot more than that. They talk about there's sensitivity when you have MS, everything from tingling, pins and needles, and numbness in your extremities and in your joints and stuff, and along with just being super sensitive to things like touches. And this one shows us another visual representation of MS, but how it can affect the body here. Blurred vision. There are visual problems sometimes when you have MS. You can have muscle spasms, and your reflexes and your joints can be more pronounced than they would in a person without MS. Also, it can affect your coordination and your balance. Like I said, there can be several different symptoms. It just depends on where these lesions are found within the nerves and the nervous system. This is a video that I found from Roche. It's let me take you to it. It's Understanding Multiple Sclerosis.
This is your brain. It's largely made up of nerve cells, around 90 billion of them that buzz with activity even when you're sleeping. Nerve cells are very social cells that love to connect. In fact, there are more connections between the nerve cells in your brain than there are stars in the Milky Way. That's quite a social network. Nerve cells in your brain and spinal cord connect and communicate. Together with the nerves in your eyes, they make up your central nervous system, or CNS, the network operations center of the body. Much like your social network news stream, your CNS is constantly chatting back and forth with itself and your body to allow you to think, breathe, feel, see, and navigate the world, among many other things. But what if your nerve cells stopped talking to each other in the usual way and the social network broke down in some spots? Something similar happens in people with multiple sclerosis, or MS. MS is a disease of the central nervous system. Usually diagnosed between 20 and 40 years of age, it's a major cause of non-traumatic disability in young adults. To understand what MS does to the CNS and body, let's take a closer look at how nerve cells work. To send important messages, nerve cells communicate through electrical signals. Signals start at one end and travel down this long wire-like part, which is called an axon. Most axons are coated with fatty layers of myelin, which is like the insulation around an actual electric wire. Myelin supports the nerve cell and helps the signal move efficiently to the end of the cell where the message can be passed to other cells in the network. Nerve signals move incredibly quickly, about 100 meters per second. It only takes about 1/50th of a second for a signal to reach your toe from your brain. That's why you don't notice any delay when your brain tells your toes to wiggle. In people with MS, the myelin layers become damaged by inflammation, changing the way signals move down the nerve and leading to a wide range of problems. Inflamed areas of the CNS can also become scarred when the body tries to fix the problem, like when a deep scrape leaves a scar on your skin. Most people with MS experience relapses of symptoms followed by periods of time without symptoms. However, no one can predict what kind of symptoms they will have, when they will happen, or how long they will last. What's more, MS never stops and can damage your CNS even when you aren't having symptoms. So what's behind the nervous system attack? As it turns out, part of our own bodies are a major culprit in MS. We'll take a closer look at how the immune system, which normally protects us, can turn against the CNS and make the network misfire or even break down. Stay tuned for our next episode.
Okay, and then obviously if you're more interested in Roche's work on diseases and what they have to say more about the central nervous system and MS, you can check them out at their YouTube channel. These 4 men are the 4 men that are really important when it comes to MS. They made major contributions leading up to the naming of the disease, really. This first one, Robert Carswell, he and Jean Colliver, they worked together. Robert Carswell was a British professor of pathology, and Jean Colliver was a French professor of pathologic anatomy. They illustrated, at the time, some of the disease's clinical details, but they didn't identify multiple sclerosis as being a separate disease. Carswell described the injuries found as a remarkable lesion of the spinal cord accompanied with atrophy. Then, in our progress in MS here, we have George Edard von Rindfleisch. He was a Swiss pathologist. He noticed under a microscope that inflammation-associated lesions were found near blood vessels. And then finally we come to 1868 with Jean-Martin Charcot. He recognized the condition as a distinct disease and called it sclerose en plaques. And this, we have some facts about the pathology and what causes MS. As I've said throughout this, it does affect the autoimmune system, the central nervous system, the nerve cells of the brain and spinal cord. They end up getting damaged, or as one of those 4 men said, lesions occur. There is also a theory about MS and vitamin D deficiency being the cause.
I've only died 6 times building the building I'm doing.
I have a few friends that actually have MS,
Only 6.
and was fortunate enough to speak to them
Only 6 times.
and ask them
Oh,
how it affected their everyday life.
my baby.
My friend Tim Morris, he told me every day he fights with his body to move, either due to the lack of neurological response or muscle pain or both of those things because of the MS. There is a constant fear he has
Oh, that's nice.
that today is the day that the autonomic system that It just stops working for him. And since it is an invisible condition, people still expect him to carry on with his job, carry on in life, just like as if he didn't have a disease. This was a meme that I found online from Ann Romney. Ann Romney has MS. You may know her as being the wife of Senator Mitt Romney, but she is also an American equestrian, an author, and a philanthropist, and she has MS. She says, with MS, you just run out of fuel. You just stop. You can't even go on. Sometimes you can't even talk. In the United States, there are 1 million people living with MS. And worldwide, there are 2.3 million people living with MS.
Oh, that one, yeah.
And there is ongoing research with medications and therapies for MS to treat the symptoms. And I did pull up, and progress has been made and is still being made. And within the past year, there have been different medicines and procedures approved for the treatment of MS. In 2020, the MS Society released recommendations for an AHSCT bone marrow transplant for MS. And then in 2020 also, FDA approved a generic form of Tecfidera for relapsing MS. They also approved Kesimpta. And the Wellness Research Group published exercise and physical activity recommendations for anyone who has MS. The Consortium of MS Centers and others established the North American MS COVID-19 Clinical Database. The FDA approved oral Defiteram or monomethyl fumarate for relapsing MS. The FDA also approved oral Zeposia for relapsing MS. And then if you would like to know more about some of the progress and some of the history, some of the accomplishments just over time about contributing to the treatment of MS, I have provided a PDF here. And also, when I click on it, it brings up the website where that can be found. NationalMSSociety.org has a lot of good information about this disease if you're interested. And thank you for viewing my project on multiple sclerosis. Have a great afternoon.